Have you noticed something strange lately? And not like there's anything technically wrong, and yet you feel tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix? Have you ever looked around and thought, wow, other people have it way worse than I do, and why am I not more grateful? And still, there's this quiet heaviness you can't quite explain. And stick with me till the end. I want to share an answer I've discovered to a simple question that helped me tell a difference between real responsibility and weight I was never meant to carry. By the way, I'm Judd. Let's dig into what brings out the best in our humanity to live our best authentic lives. So, for many people, especially midlife, this feeling doesn't arrive as a breakdown, it lands quietly. You're functioning, you're capable, you're showing up. But something inside just feels worn and not dramatic, just dull and a little heavy. And because nothing is obviously wrong, you don't feel free to talk about it. So what do? We carry on silently. And this is often the oddest part. Life looks stable. You've handled hard things before and you survived worse. So why does everything feel heavy now, even when things are fine? Here's what I've come to understand. That heaviness usually isn't coming from life itself. It's coming from expectations that never got updated. Expectations about who we're supposed to be, how much you're supposed to carry, how capable you're expected to remain without complaint. Many of these expectations were formed very long ago when saying, well, yes was necessary, when proving yourself mattered, when holding everything together was part of survival. And back then, that made sense. But midlife has a way of quietly asking a different question. Do these expectations still belong to me? Or am I just so used to carrying them that I don't know how to put them down? And what really makes this tricky is that these expectations don't feel optional. They feel like adulthood. They feel like responsibility. They feel like this is just how life works. So instead of questioning them, we question ourselves. Why am I so tired? Why am I less patient? Why does everything feel heavier than it used to? As a matter of fact, it reminds me of the old timers when I was a young boy. And these guys it seemed they would get upset, ticked off, pissed, like for nothing. And the older I've gotten, the more I realized that, and this is why I'm doing this video, is because we are trained to never put those expectations down. So I noticed this in myself when I started paying attention to what was actually, in my case, robbing me of energy. And I mean, not big crises, not big problems, just this quiet, constant pressure to keep being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who keeps juggling those balls, family, kids, aging parents, work. And I realized something uncomfortable, and I want to see if this rings true for you too. Some of the weight I was carrying was never explicitly asked of me. I inherited it, I absorbed it, and I accepted it without even questioning it. Now, here's the quiet truth. Not all weight is responsibility. Some is habit. Some of it is expectation passed down, modeled, or we silently assume it without question. I don't know about you, but when you carry it long enough, it starts to feel who you are. Have you ever felt like this? Let me know in the comments, because this is what I found. This is where midlife fatigue often comes from. Not from doing too much, but from carrying things that are no longer yours. And when you start to notice this, like something shifts. You don't necessarily do less, but you do stop carrying things out of guilt, out of fear, out of that old need to prove your worth. And earlier I mentioned that I would share an answer to a question that's really helped me tell the difference between real responsibilities and unnecessary weight. Is this something I'm choosing to carry or something I never questioned? I found that when I ask this question of myself, it creates the space for who I really am to show up. And here's how I use it. If something truly matters, if it aligns with my values, my relationships, my sense of integrity, then I carry it willingly. That weight feels different. It feels right. It feels solid. But if something feels heavy, draining, or resentful, I ask myself this question: did I choose this, or did I inherit it from an old version of myself, or of someone else's expectation of me? And the cool thing is, like, this has been a process for me. I don't know if it has been something that you've been looking at or working on to let these expectations go. But you don't have to drop this overnight. It's a process. Just noticing is enough, because awareness is often the beginning of putting that weight down. If this res- if this res- blah, 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 if this reflection speaks to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And for more reflections like this, quiet truths for people who've lived some life, you guys know who you are. You're welcome to subscribe. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day, week, month,